Well, good day, guys. This is Brandon, Little NC Farmer, coming to you again today. And I want to do a little just showing you around what's going on. I apologize for not having a lot of content lately. I've just been busy with a lot of other things going on besides gardening. I've got some stuff going on, don't get me wrong, between work and other things and trying to garden too. I tell you, there's not enough hours in the day. And they're hitting me up at work wanting me to work over. And see, I work the night shift, and so that means early in the morning I would be working on up through the day. This is the best time of the day to me, is early in the morning, to be out here in the garden before it gets hot. So, it is what it is, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to work. Uh, but I wished it could come at a better time. But I wanted to show you around a little bit what's going on. That's all this is going to be today, just kind of showing you what I've done so far. And let's just look around a little bit. You can see we've got some flowers here planted. I just love having them around me. I'll kind of do a walk around showing you that in the middle of this video. But first thing I wanted to show you is my onions. All right, guys, you see right here, I've got one in there that's pretty good size, and I try to keep the dirt back off of them, but you can see that one right there. That one's about baseball size, tennis ball, something like that. But when I water them, it just washes back around it. But that helps them about bulbing out. But guys, I have fed these things. I've fed them chicken manure. I've fed them just straight ammonium nitrate, ammonium sulfate, I forget which it is. I don't feed them every day. I do it maybe once every 2 weeks. It's about time I may give them a little Miracle Grow. Now these down here are the red Weathersford onions, and the ones up this way is the Walla Walla Yalla onion. And I've got some garlic right here. I don't know how it's doing. I haven't even scratched in there to see. But these things are just now starting to really bulb out and swell out. And I think about it, I started these back last September by seed. This is almost a year's process involved in these things. But guys, they are just simply gorgeous. And I water them now. They are actually taking water every day. I will come out here. Right here, I've got a couple of sweet potatoes that I just experimenting with. These things have just stood still for the most part. I'm hoping to get some draws off of them, maybe. Now this right here is one that I've put in. This is just regular old potting soil that I've put in here, and you can see I'm getting some draws now off of this one. I'll probably end up having to buy some too, but I've still got a little time before I'll plant here. And I want to say something. I do want to say something regarding planting. We're behind here. I mean, we've had several nights just previously, even in the 1st of May. Now today is the 20th of May. And usually, guys, I've got stuff up and, taken off by now. The corn that, I hope I have it in this video. I've got some footage from down there at the garden at my mom and dad's, but I actually had to replant it. That first planting y'all saw me do, did nothing come up. I don't know if the crows got it or what happened, but nothing came up. And I actually went ahead and replanted it with that cold corn planter. I got a fairly good stand, and I've also got some Hastings Prolific. You'll see that in the video as well. But I had to redo all that. I mean, when you take nights down in the low 40s, this time of year, you're wasting seed to try to plant. And yesterday, I just now planted my okra because we had a good day yesterday. It was up to like 90 degrees here. That's the warmest. That's the first time I've seen it 90 degrees so far. Of course, I don't care for the 90s. 80s I can deal with. 90s, you can have that. But we got that. I got that planted yesterday, and I've got most of my little garden right here. I've got it planted. I've got tomato plants and pepper plants to set out, and I've got some dill that I want to set out also. And so, you know, that's kind of where that's at. But let me show you some other things. Now, these are some tomato plants. Well, that ain't nothing. This right here is actually a hollyhock, or hollyhock, however you say it. Started that from seed. That was some my grandmother had. These are some celebrity tomatoes. I just dumped what seed I had left in that little container, and they're about ready to be transplanted now. And then these are also some, let's see, that's the Cherokee Purple, I think, yeah. And this is the Celebrity Hybrid Tomato. I got those from Hoss Tool. And I had some last year and I liked them, so I thought I'd try them again this year. I want you to look at this lettuce. I mean, I just come out here, if I want a salad, I harvest off what I want. I mean, this thing is just simply amazing. I love these little grow bags. I mean, I can have it right here. I've got this wire around it to keep anything from bothering it, and it just does fabulous. Guys, I don't know how well this is showing up on camera, but these are an old-fashioned heirloom cherry. My grandparents had these growing around their property. This came from my wife's grandparents, but it's basically the same cherry that my grandparents had. Theirs played out, and I was able to find these. And guys, I've got little sprouts coming up everywhere around here on the ground. So I'm hoping I can get these started again. They are just about ripe. You really need them when they're just blood red. The thing is, the birds will come in here and they'll harvest them for you if you're not careful. They make one great cobbler, but they also make great preserves too. I have had them like that. You see this one right here, that one's close, but the top of it's still just a little bit tan colored. I like them when they're a solid red. And the thing is, the birds know when they get that way because they'll pick them. But this thing's not as loaded as it was last year. I think the cold probably bit it back some. But hopefully I'll get out here and get enough either for a cobbler, or I may try to make great preserves, because man, those things are good. And I can come out here and just sit and eat. All right, we're out here at my little garden here at the house. This row right here, and I had to really squeeze them in. I don't know if I got my spacing off a little bit this time or what, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows in here. I can't remember what. I'd have to go back and look at my video from last year. But I do have the okra right here on this last row right here. There's nothing here right now, but that's where I plan to put peppers and tomatoes in this row. I've got another location that I put my Cherokee purples, because I really don't want them mixing with anything else. This is going to be hybrid stuff up here, so I don't want it mixing with that. This row here, and I've not got anything come up yet, but I've got squash and cucumbers down on that end, similar to like I did last year, except I had it on the far end. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but I've got a good stand. Now, these are Jade bush beans, and you can see I've got these kind of like bedded up, so in case we have a lot of rainfall, hopefully it won't be an issue. And I also did that with this corn. Now, this corn, guys, this is actually popcorn. It's an heirloom popcorn. My mom gave me the seed back at Christmas, And I thought I'm going to try my best to plant some and have some here. So I didn't want it mixing with my other corn that I've got. So I brought it here. I thought I'd just do one little short row here, try it, see how it does. And it's been a long time since I've grew any popcorn, so I hope it does well. And we'll just try it and see. Okay guys, right here I've got, this is a little Cherokee tan pumpkin. I got the seed from Mr. Danny down at Deep South Homestead, and I'm hoping that I can get this thing to make something this year. I had some last year and I wasn't really able to look after them. They were not here on this property and I wasn't really able to look after them. So hopefully I can get this one to do something. I've got this around it. Maybe it'll help keep the chickens away from it. And because these things, they run like crazy. I'm hoping it'll be all over my deck and just everywhere out here. We are already beginning, look at there guys. We are already starting to have blueberries to ripen up. I think this one is called the early blue, if I remember right. See, there's one that's turning. They're not dead ripe yet. I come out here yesterday and I got some. They could have stood to been a little riper. See, there's one there. These are big. Now these over here will get almost that size, not quite. And I forget the name of this one. I've got it down here in my building. This one's a little later, but this one and that first one over I showed you, they'll ripen up first. But I've got to get down here. I need to pull some grass out around it. And if you remember back, that netting that I used to keep the deer out of my garden with, I'm thinking about putting it around here and the blackberry vine so that the chickens won't get in here, because they love to get up here, and I've seen them just stand and jump up and down trying to eat this stuff. And I want to do a quick thank you to Mr. Danny King at Deep South for giving this advice on these blackberry vines. At the beginning of the season, I went back and I snipped the ends, just cleaned it up. That's all I done. I didn't really cut it back. I more or less just kind of trimmed it up just a little bit. And guys, I've got more blooms than this thing's ever had. The only thing that I'm concerned about, I've got one shoot. And see, last year I had 2 shoots and actually a branch off of that one over there. I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know why, but I've got to clip the end of this one off. So now y'all saw the video last year that I did that. I think I did one on it, but I just snipped the end off of this and it'll make it, and it's getting about time to do that. And it'll make that one shoot, it'll just branch out just like this one has. But I've put the fertilizer to it. You can see the leaves are just dark green and healthy looking, and there's still more blooms coming on right there. So hopefully we'll have, I hope to make some jam or something, or either juice. I don't know which I'll do with them, but I hope I can do something with them this year. It really wasn't enough to do a whole lot with. I think I froze some last year. That's all I did with them. But that's about what I've got going on. But around here, guys, I try to do some video, show around, you know, my flowers and stuff that we've got set out, things that's going on. And I do want to do a quick shout out right now while I'm thinking about it. Good friend of mine that I went to school with, he's just a little younger than I am, but his boys have started a YouTube channel. It's called The Moors Outdoors, and I'll put a link down in the description so that you can check them out. And I hope and trust, well, I know they will. They'll be a blessing to you. And y'all go check them out, subscribe to them. It's basically the same thing I'm doing, only theirs is much better. And so check them out, and I know you'll be blessed by watching them. They live just south of us here, And so they're, you know, I know you'll be blessed by checking their content out. And so I did want to do that before I forgot about that. The Moors Outdoors. That's a pretty sorry looking row with grass in it, but I just went down through and thinned these beets out just a little bit. And my potatoes, that's probably the last plowing they're gonna get. I mean, the vines are getting super big on them. But these right here were the Kennebecks, and the russets finally did come up, and they're, for whatever reason, they're not down on this end, but they did on down through there. I don't think I got my video, had my camera on when I plowed this, so I'll have to search for the video when I get around to doing my editing. But I did notice these are blooming, and so we'll see if we have anything later on. I'm not going to mess with them right now, but those plants look healthy. I mean, just look at the blooms on them there. All right, this corn right here is from Joey over at JT West YouTube channel. This is the Hastings Prolific, and this is my first time growing this, as far as I know. I've got some field corn, I'm just not sure the name of it, but this is what, of course this is not all that he gave me, but this row right here, I got a little off on it and covered it up, some of it, as you can see. But these two rows look good here, but I thought I'd try to get me a little stand of it, and it plowed good. I don't think I had my camera on when I was plowing this, so. But my plan is, this area up here, I'm going to probably do some field peas, like some purple hull field peas. And down here, I want to try at least one row of sweet potatoes. And I've got a couple pumpkin plants. I'm just worried about deer getting into them. But I'll see what I can do there. Try to make that happen. Probably not gonna plant that today. Really like to do it right before a chance of rain, and so that's where that stands. But we've got other parts. I've got other parts of the garden planted. The corn that you saw me cultivate, I actually had to plant that again, and I did use the cold corn planter doing it. And so, you know, let's just walk out there and look at it. Okay, yeah, we did this with the old cold corn planter. This is what you saw me make hills with, and I planted it with that little earthway seeder, and for whatever reason, nothing came up. I really think the crows got it. Not sure about that, but that's what I think happened, because we had to do a little, take some drastic measures on that to keep that from happening again. But anyhow, I got a fairly good stand. I mean, this is sweet corn, this is Silver Queen. It does good here, it usually has, as long as it can get the adequate rainfall. But I think this is what I actually showed cultivating. I've got a separate video will be coming out about the cultivating. But and my cabbage is looking good. I'd really like to see it head up more. We really need some rain. This is actually dry here, and according to the weatherman, it'll probably getting a chance maybe toward the end of this week, hopefully. And this corn right here is not far from laying by. Matter of fact, the next plowing I do on it, if I can catch it right before rain, I may throw the nitrogen to it and lay it by. Hopefully I can get a video of that, doing that. But you know, guys, my tractor's not a farmall. I'm not trying to compete with a farmall at all. I was just showing people how I do it using what I have. Of course, that'll go on another video. But you can see there, this row looks good here. These two rows right here for whatever reason, I don't think the planter was dropping right there. But the way I set that planter up, I use both sides of the hopper for sweet corn, and then for like the field corn, the Hasty and Prolific, I only used one side of it, which makes it a lot thinner. So hopefully I won't have to go in and thin that. But that's, you know, that's suitable to me for sweet corn, what that looks like right there. I mean, I don't like the gaps in it that I've got, but that is
guys,
what it
anyway,
is. This is kind of where our garden's at right now. I wished I had more to show you. We did plant some stuff last week. I've planted my stuff at home. It's just now barely starting to come up, so hopefully I can have something to show you there, you know, later on, and we can get the sweet potatoes. That'll be a while yet. I've got some draws growing at the house, and hopefully I can get those in the ground real soon. And that's the plan. I'm standing here under this old pecan tree. I'll swirl it around here. You can see those little worms is dropping, so hopefully we'll have some pecans again this year. And if the good Lord will see fit to send us some rain, and hope and pray that he does. So anyway, that's a little overlook of the garden. I know it's real short, and I apologize for not having videos out much recently. It's been a little busy time working and other things to deal with too, so I apologize for that, and just to let everybody know that I am okay. So all right guys, well, I'm gonna get off of here. Y'all have a great day, and thank you, Little NC Farmer.